Tropical storm Harvey still hammering Texas, leaving a path of destruction. Nearly 20 inches of rain falling in some areas. Hundreds of thousands of people are without power. Areas like Victoria, Texas have experienced winds as high as 130 miles per hour. Paul Polasek is the mayor of Victoria and joins us now by phone. Mr. Mayor, thanks for your time. What are the biggest concerns facing your community right now?
Thank you, sir. We are currently have an issue with our water supply, but it's being addressed as quickly as possible. And of course, the power outages are also difficult. We don't have any estimated time to get the power back on yet, but we're working on it very hard.
Have you seen state resources flowing into your community yet? DPS, other resources to try to help Victoria bounce back from the storm?
Yes, sir. Many of the agencies do have a strong presence here, and we've been working very well with them. As far as actual resources and commodities, water and ice, we have those things on the way. So I'm optimistic we'll get them here as quick as possible.
What kind of damage are you seeing across Victoria? We've seen devastating images all across the Lone Star State, or certainly along the coastal region, but what kind of damage are you seeing in your neighborhoods?
Well, mostly, of course, a lot of downed trees and limbs, and then there's also a lot of power lines and different types of transmission lines that are down. And so we've imposed a curfew till 6 a.m. tomorrow morning to keep people out of harm's way. There's been some structural damage, some roofs, and some other entire structures, but not too many, mostly a lot of trees and debris.
There's one confirmed fatality so far due to Hurricane Harvey. Mr. Mayor, I hate to ask this, but any concerns about loss of life in your community?
I'm not aware of any at this point. We certainly are going to stay concerned. The storm is actually diminishing, and right now we want people to stay at home and stay out of harm's way and, have secondary type incidences for their own safety. But I'm not aware of any current health issues in particular.
Other than staying at home, any advice to folks who may be struggling at this hour, maybe the elderly in your community, what they may be able to do to get some relief and some assistance?
Well, work together. Victoria is such a wonderful community. We do take care of each other, and I encourage neighbors to help each other out and conserve your resources in water and food until make sure we get everything back on. I think we're going to be okay, and our first responders are now responding to calls. The wind is diminished enough to where they can respond. So we just need to be patient and calm and work together.
I know from years covering hurricanes along the Gulf Coast there and other parts of the southeast, a lot of times you issue these warnings to folks to get out before the storm arrives. Did your people heed those warnings? Do you think most of Victoria residents got out while they could?
This storm grew at such an incredibly rapid pace that was difficult for us. As soon as we got word of its strengthening to a significant amount, we did execute a mandatory evacuation. I don't have hard numbers on how many people actually left. Some of us have talked about it. We suspect maybe 65% of the population actually remained here. So we did not, I don't think, but I don't have hard numbers on that. I don't think a lot of people did evacuate. I do know a lot that, some that did, though.
What's the destruction like across your community in terms of, have you seen a lot of houses wrecked, destroyed, or damaged? What are you seeing? Paint a picture for us, if you will, sir.
Mostly fences. A lot of the typical wooden fences and other things are down. Some lighter structures, barn type or sheds or just work barns. I've noticed some of those down. Lots of the cable connection, telephone lines are all on the streets. A number of trees. There's just been a few facades on buildings and things that's been blown off. There is some debris. That debris is now, in the roadways and stuff, so it's a little difficult to traverse all that. We're not through with our assessment of damage yet. A lot of the first responders are out now doing that, trying to get it done before dark.
Mayor Paul Polasek of the community of Victoria, Texas. Mr. Mayor, we thank you for your time, and we wish you and your community the very best.